What's up LEGO fans, it's LEGO Man Cam, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you my pitch for a LEGO Dimensions sequel, which I'll be calling LEGO Dimensions 2. Wow, so creative. Wow, that's creative. You're so creative. I'm going to be combining a lot of the cancelled elements of the game which I covered in the previous video, as well as some newer franchises which would be perfectly suited to LEGO Dimensions. I'm also going to be discussing some newer elements that could be implemented to the game that aren't just necessarily new franchises. And to start us off, I'd love to see a continuation of the original game's story. Now, if this were to theoretically release, I'd love to see a whole range of 18 new levels that continue where the story left off at the end of the first game. The starter pack could include brand new minifigures of Wildstyle, Gandalf and Batman in brand new dimension crossing outfits. The portal build could be a more souped up looking version of the original portal, and the new levels would sort of follow the same trajectory as the first game, with each level crossing over into one of the different franchises for the game, or even maybe some of the franchises that got missed in the original game, such as Chima. I would also love to see all the older characters be playable in this new game. Now, this technology did work for games like Skylanders, where you could use your original characters in the newer games, so it should be possible for this one too. The next addition I'd like to make are the inclusion of connectables. Now, I spoke about these in my previous video where I looked at the cancelled Year 3 content, but connectables were set to be released with the launch of Despicable Me in LEGO Dimensions, and we were going to get a new type of expansion that could upgrade the different features of the game, such as make your characters stronger, faster, or even upgrade their weapons. These connectables would be small builds that would act as a totem that is placed on the toy pad, and the ability is activated when that connectable is being used. Now, in my opinion, these would replace the need for vehicles and gadgets. While I understand that these were a large part of the game, in order to try and keep the cost down for the game overall, as that was one of the major problems with the original game, I would have removed these as I never found myself using them that much other than when I had to. These connectables wouldn't be in every single pack, but would be in a connectables pack, which would include a character and a connectable. As I've mentioned, I would want to change the way the expansion packs are distributed. By removing gadgets and vehicles, it would make the overall cost down and change the price of each pack significantly. I would start off with connectable packs, which would include one minifigure and a connectable for maybe about $10. We would then have team packs, which would include 3 characters, maybe for $15, and then a level pack, which would include 2 characters and a new level, also for $15. There would then be story packs, which would be pretty much kept the same, with 1 new character and a brand new portal build, and of course 6 new in-game levels. I think these would be around 25 to 30. I think this change would give players more of what they want, being the minifigures, while also keeping the cost down of the packs since there's less actual LEGO being included. However, this still does keep with the building and the LEGO element of the game, as connectables as well as the story pack portals would have to be built. Anyway, now let's get into what you want to see, which are the franchises that I would like to see in the game, and the types of packs that I would have them in. Now, I'm going to go pretty all out here, and I'm not going to really limit myself to a certain number of packs per franchise, as this is obviously just a wish list at the end of the day, since the chance of this game actually ever returning are extremely low. Anyway, I'll be looking at 20 franchises to be in the game, as well as some updates to previous franchises that we've already seen. I'll start with updates to previous franchises first, starting with the new Doctor Who level pack, which would feature the 15th and the 13th Doctor as minifigures. Both of these characters would be able to regenerate into all the older variants, however the 15th wouldn't be able to become the 13th, and vice versa, to keep the characters unique. I think this would be a great pack to get so many great characters in the game, and give another sort of mind-bending time travel level for you to play through. This would also give access to a brand new Doctor Who expansion world too. I would also include a Missy connectable pack, as so many of you guys commented on the last video that she would have been an awesome character that you would have loved to have seen, and she was originally planned for Year 3. The next pack would be a Ninjago one, and this would be a Dragons Rising themed with a team pack featuring Lloyd, Aaron and Sora. This would unlock a new adventure world of the merged realm, and these characters are a great way to usher in new fans of the show into the game. I chose to include Lloyd here again, as although we have already had him, this would be the green rather than gold ninja. The last pack from an existing franchise I would love to see is a Scooby-Doo team pack featuring the 3 remaining characters, Fred, Velma and Daphne, as well as an updated Scooby-Doo world to explore. That way you can then add Scooby and Shaggy and have the whole gang together. Now, with 3 franchises out of the way, let's look at some of the cancelled franchises that I would love to see brought over to the new game, As I mentioned in the beginning, this is just my opinion, but please let me know in the comments if there are any franchises you would want to see that I've missed. Anyway, the first would be Minecraft with a full story pack featuring Steve, as this was originally going to be in the game, and since LEGO Minecraft is still going strong some 10 years after its original release, I think this would be the perfect game franchise to bring over. The story could go through just a traditional Minecraft playthrough, ending with you defeating the Ender Dragon, and then the adventure world where you could take on bosses like the Wither and the Warden. As I mentioned before with Connectables, I would bring over Despicable Me, as the franchise is still as popular as ever, and LEGO and Illumination have a great working relationship with Despicable Me sets on shelves right now. I think a Connectables pack with Gru and a superpower connectable that gives your characters extra powers would be a great tie-in to the Mega Minions from the newest film, and then maybe a team pack featuring the 3 girls or maybe the 3 different minions. Shrek would be an absolute lock to appear in the game for me, as with the new movie coming out next year, I'm sure there would be a lot of buzz around the franchise. A level pack featuring Shrek and Donkey would be perfect, or maybe even a story pack, since there will be 5 movies to play through, and the build can include some sort of swamp portal. Obviously DreamWorks and LEGO would have to work out their partnership, but I think it could be very successful and lead us into the next DreamWorks franchise, which would be How to Train Your Dragon. I love this franchise so much, and I love the Norse Viking aesthetic. With a live action movie coming soon too, this would be the perfect time, although I would prefer these sets to be based on the animated movies and TV shows instead. A story pack featuring Hiccup and Astrid would be perfect here. To play through the different movies, and the adventure world would allow you to travel around on the different dragons. Next, I would love to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles be added, as this franchise always seems to be popular with new movies and TV shows always coming out. A team pack featuring Ralph, Don, and Mikey, and then a Connectables pack featuring Leonardo would be perfect, where the Connectables could upgrade every character's weapons or maybe even unlock some special abilities. This franchise could have the whole city to explore with plenty of villains to take down, and of course a really complex underground sewer area to adventure. Another would be James Bond, which would be the Mission Impossible type of franchise for this new game. Give us a James Bond minifigure that can change into any of the previous actors, just like the Doctor Who ones, and I think you have a great expansion on your hands. This could be just a story pack with James Bond, and a portal that looks black and sleek, as well as being high tech. The levels would bring something totally different and new to the game, focusing on stealth. The last franchise I would bring over that was originally going to be in the game would be Pirates of the Caribbean. Now a Jack Sparrow story pack would be perfect here, paired with a team pack featuring Elizabeth, Will Turner, and Hector Barbosa. Now this could explore all the Pirates movies, as well as have a giant open world to explore and sail around in. As this is a Disney franchise, I am opening the door here to some more Disney franchises, which we'll get into in a minute. With that, we have 11 franchises in the game, plus the original 3 from Gandalf, Wildstar, and Batman. And as I said, I would want to see 20 franchises in the game, so I've come up with 6 more that I would want to see. First up would be Dune. Now Dune is a franchise that has seemingly come out of nowhere recently, even though it has existed for a really long time. The newer movies are so great and cinematic, and they would perfectly fit into the LEGO Dimensions game, especially since we already have a LEGO Dune set. I would want to see a story pack featuring of course Paul Atreides, with a portal build of his training room. A team pack could be made featuring Cheney, Duncan, and Lady Jessica, as I think they're probably the most interesting characters to have in the movie that would be great in the game. The adventure world would be a large barren wasteland with plenty of events that happen, like taming a sandworm, and maybe some large scale battles to get involved in. The next franchise is one coming from Disney, and this would be The Mandalorian. Now, I could have gone with Star Wars here in general, however I feel like the scope is just too massive considering we had the entire Skywalker Saga video game for that just a few years ago. However, I would want to see a level pack featuring the Mandalorian and Grogu, and perhaps another character such as Bo-Katan, as Grogu probably doesn't really count as a full character. Anyway, this would play through the brand new Mandalorian and Grogu film that is releasing later next year, I believe, and the adventure world would explore a few planets that are featured in the film. This opens the door to more Star Wars characters and movies to be added, and I would want to start off small first, but this then leads us into our next franchise, which would be Ahsoka. Now this would cover both seasons 1 and 2 of the show, which is filming at the moment and will probably release later next year. Anyway, I would want a story pack featuring Ahsoka, and some kind of portal, maybe built off of the back of a Purrgil or the inside of the Ghost. There would then be a team pack with Ezra, Sabine, and Hera, who would make up majority of the supporting cast from the show. The adventure world would explore Peridia and some of the other locations from the show too. Monkey Kid would be the next franchise I would add, as although I don't know much about this series, the sets seem to do well as the theme has continued on for over 5 years and doesn't look to be slowing down. I think a team pack featuring the Monkey Kid himself, May and Pigsy would be enough and give a fun world to explore for those who are unfamiliar with the sets like myself. I feel like LEGO would want to include at least one of their own IPs here, as they included quite a few in the original game, like LEGO City, Ninjago and Chima. The second last franchise would be Horizon Zero Dawn, as this is a franchise that has seemingly got a great relationship with LEGO as they're releasing a game together later this year. A level pack featuring Aloy and Val, and a level to explore the world this series takes place in would be awesome. I haven't played the games myself, but it seems like a great bit of cross promotion that LEGO would love to do. With all that being said, I now have one franchise left to close out the video, and I've saved the best till last, as with Disney now being a part of the game, I would love to see Marvel enter the game, and just like I did with Star Wars, I think the Avengers would be the perfect place to start. An Iron Man story pack featuring some of the best moments from the best Avengers films over the years, pair that with a team pack featuring Hulk, Hawkeye and Black Widow, and maybe another featuring Captain America, Thor and Captain Marvel. I think this would be one of the most popular franchises, and seeing these characters interact with all the DC heroes from the first game would just be amazing. Anyway, that's all I have to cover in this video, so please let me know in the comments which franchise you would want to see in the game, and please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed.